I ended my cheating wife's co-worker's marriage. So, let me start from the beginning. My wife and I had been married for 5 years. We hadn't had any children yet, and everything seemed to be going well. We had our ups and downs like any other couple, but we always managed to work things out. Or so I thought. One day, I noticed that my wife had been acting strange. She was coming home later than usual after her evening shift, and she was spending a lot more time on her phone, even when we were supposed to be hanging out. At first, I thought nothing of it. But as the days went on, I was getting tired of the ever-growing distance between us and started wondering what was up. That's when I decided to do a little digging. When she was in the shower, I checked her phone and found text messages between her and her co-worker, who happened to be married to another woman who worked at the same retail store as my wife. What the actual hell? I couldn't believe that my wife, the person who I trusted the most in the world, could do something like this to us. Like seriously, I could have just confronted her and that stupid dude, but I wanted to make them pay. I wanted everyone to know what they had done. So, I grabbed my tablet and took a recording of the screen as I scrolled through their message history. It was extremely difficult to keep my cool when she came back into our room to get dressed. That was probably the hardest thing I have ever done. But instead of freaking out, I got myself calm and began to plan. I decided I would confront all of them at the store later that day and that I would secretly record the confrontation using my cell phone, which I propped up in my shirt pocket. I knew that if I had the evidence on video, it would be harder for them to deny what they had done, and I could further the depth and intensity of my revenge. So, I called my boss and said I would be late coming in, which was no big deal. I waited until she got all settled in at her job, and then I looked up the dude's wife on Facebook and sent her a message asking if she was working that day. She said that she was, and I told her that I had to stop by and tell her something, but to please not say anything to my wife about it. I showed up at the store, barging in with a big smile on my face, which quickly turned into a scowl. I couldn't keep my cool any longer. The look on their faces when they saw me was priceless. They had no idea what was coming. I played the recordings of their conversations to mine and the dude's wife, which showed that they had been having an affair for some time. My wife was speechless. She tried to deny it at first, but eventually she had to confess. It was one of the most satisfying moments of my life. His wife called him up to the front immediately so he could also partake of the horrors I was unleashing. He became visibly shaken when he realized what was going on, but the drama didn't end there. Their boss heard the commotion and came to see what was happening. I played the recordings for him as well, and he was appalled. He couldn't believe that his employees had been behaving in such a way. The co-worker's wife was devastated and ended up quitting her job on the spot. My wife was fired shortly after, and that stupid dude just received a stern warning from their boss. I guess he couldn't lose all of his employees in one day, LOL. I felt a little bad for the co-worker's wife, but I couldn't help feeling a sense of satisfaction knowing that I had exposed their affair. But that's not the end of the story. I went home and edited the footage of their message thread as well as my recording at the store together, making sure to blur out the faces of everyone except my wife and that idiot. And then I uploaded the video online for the world to see. The video went locally viral, and people were shocked by what they saw. My wife's friends and family saw the video and were disgusted by her actions. I even received messages from strangers who had seen the video and wanted to offer their support. Looking back on the situation now, I can't believe how things turned out, but I don't regret what I did. I was hurt and angry, and I wanted everyone to know the truth. And thanks to my sneaky recording, they did. In the end, my wife and I got a divorce. It was an intense process, but I'm glad to say that I'm finally moving on with my life. As for her idiot lover, well, I know that he and his wife got divorced too, but I don't know what happened to him after that. I never saw him again after that day. I've moved on and started over again, and I never see or talk to my ex. So, there you have it. That's my story. If there's one thing I learned from all of this, it's that you should always trust your gut instincts. If something feels off in your relationship, it's better to investigate it than to let it fester and potentially spiral out of control. So, to anyone out there who might be going through something similar, know that you're not alone. Take the time to reflect on your feelings and make the best decision for yourself. It might not be easy, but it's worth it in the end. And remember, getting revenge on the way out will make you feel a lot better, as long as you don't take it too far. What else could he have done to have intensified his revenge? Or do you think he did enough? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. When you subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell. Click here for more Tangled threads.